Scientology has a con game with young people. How? I'll get to that in a minute. Justice is served. How? Stick around and find out here on Human Animal Cults Corner. Hello, everyone. As you can tell, I am at my crafts table today. And guess what? Everybody is celebrating in Clearwater. That's right. And Scientology was defeated big time. How? Was found innocent of all charges. Now, Scientology is just being so miserable about it. I just bet you. So today, also, I am gonna finish up with my dog. Here it is. By painting in my name, my signature. Here it is. Geez. It doesn't look white, so I have to paint the bottom, and I'll get to that. And I'm also going to finish up with my signature. So I'm going to do that right now. All right. Oh my gosh. Everybody is just on air when they heard the jury's verdict on Aaron's case. They came back with not guilty. It was honorable because you can't live in Clearwater and know what Scientology is doing. They all know what Scientology is doing. Do they have an impartial jury? Believe it or not, they do. Now, when you live in a town that's vacated and looks like a ghost town, you'll know firsthand on what Scientology does. They have been conning people for years here on Earth. Everywhere Scientology goes, just turns corrupt. Everything they touch turns into darkness, dust. Everything they touch would turn evil. So, and they've been doing that since it's been created through L. Ron Hubbard, since that evil organization was founded by L. Ron Hubbard. Now, he had this spark in him that really drove everybody into his circle. He has this charismatic personality that people liked, and he constantly drew them in. But you know what? Some of them did not stick around and they left. Okay. All right. Okay, let me fill in this bottom half. Of the dog, and then we'll be through, because this dog has has a see-through part where it's supposed to be white, and it's just not. So I'm just going to paint this in while I'm talking about Scientology. Okay. Now, out of all the rotten things they've done, their favorite target is either Jenna or Aaron. And of course, you know his girlfriend, Jenna, or ex-girlfriend, whatever. It looks like they're on again, off again, on again, and off again relationship. It looks that way. So, are they on again? I don't know. I mean, they keep making this huge announcement on TV. It was a reality show, but I don't know. Am I into reality shows? No, I think that's why I actually was finding the internet and decided, you know what? We can't make this a show. We won't. That's all there is to it. Maybe storytelling, yeah, but forget the reality shows. Okay, now back to our other topic. All right. Yeah. They thought that Aaron was going to go to jail, but no. Scientology keeps losing to all the protesters. They know that they are into illegal activity. And each and every prosecutor, if it's not the prosecutor, it's the jury. They would know what Scientology is up to, especially when you're living in Clearwater and you find an empty town. So that would do it right there, and it just says it like it is. So it's, and they keep thinking they're gonna win, but they're not. But if they think they're not guilty, then why on earth are you postponing every lawsuit that's thrown at you if you think you're innocent of all charges? Now, and now it just says it with Aaron. He was found not guilty. So, and they were just celebrating. Was it at a bar or a pizza joint? Well, that, if I was in his shoes, I'd go out for pizza. That's what I would do. So, yeah, cults like that are just horrible. And not only that they plan on tinkering with our law enforcement, they're also tinkering in the minds of young people from age of 18 and under. That's right. They're playing a con game that's having an acting class. Yes, that's right. It is a huge con game that Scientology is playing with the minds of young people and people who are in college. Yeah, those are not free. And I am in shock that the celebrities like Tom Cruise, Jenna Elfman, and John Travolta is not stopping. They know full well that it's not easy to get into the business, and they're just letting Scientology play the con game where with not only they're giving up their money to a lost cause, but they're letting David Miscavige and Osa tinker with the young, play around with the young like that, and then use them to traffic and use them, has the intent to use them as slave labor. It's just the worst thing to happen. Okay. Okay. Oh, here it is. Just what I'm looking for. All right. Looks like I did find my brush. So I'm going to fill in the nail here for the dog. And then I'm going to be done. And then I'm going to fill in my name that's on the top and paint it. Now, oh yes, this is just my favorite thing to do is just, well, besides acting, painting. And this show is just one of the things I want to do to advocate for animals' rights, mental health. All right. There. I got that part done. There's the dog. And I am going to start another one after I'm done filling in. Oh, geez, I'm going to get my glasses. After filling in my name. It's so foggy. Let me see here. Okay. Now I'm going to go up in the top and make sure my signature stays on top. All right, there we go. And as you can tell, I need my glasses to do it. Yeah, everyone, once you turn a certain age, your elasticity would run low big time. Okay, so here we go. Now the same. So I have to change my brushes. There we go. All right. All right. And yeah, there are con games that's going on like that just use that industry to play with young people's minds like that. And this is a huge, I mean, the movie industry and the music industry is a huge dream with people who have their own talents, and they are using it to exploit them. And how do they do this? They use stuff like that, like acting classes that are free. It's not free. Nothing is free in this world, although we would love to believe it and see what we can find on the internet. And that would be the dark web. So, and Scientology is one of them. They also are in the dark web. So it's just horrible how they use that. Now, people in that industry want to be paid, and usually they're not always paid right away, and sometimes they're just not paid at all. And of course Scientology is using that. Now, did Stephen Mango use it? You know what? He started in his hometown of Boston, Mass, where I'm originally from. Okay. And he came out here to pursue, he went out to California to pursue my dreams. But however, it looks like they're using that industry to actually wheel them into their human trafficking organization. Now, to be in that business, you're going to have to be lucky. And okay, and it's tragic when they fall for something like that. And yeah, and I mean, you can pursue it. Nobody's stopping you from it, but know who you're going to, and do background checks. If you're under the age of 18, get your parents to help. If not, wait till you turn 18 if they don't let you. And then you can decide. But if you're living under your parents' roof, then it's another thing. You have to listen to their rules. I know it's hard. I've been there. But it's just a hard industry to break into. But there are other ways you can do it. You can go to your community theater. You can even get your own show like I did and do some advocacy work with it. I decided to do my advocacy work through YouTube because of the way mental health is being treated in Scientology. And for them to turn around and say there's no such thing as mental illness, I take offense to that, because guess what? I have mental illness myself. And mental health not getting notice is a huge thing. People literally die from mental illness. And if they're not hurting themselves, they're hurting others. And it's tragic when places like those just exploit it and claim to be exploited, which that's not the case. They're the ones doing the exploiting, not the other way around. Now I'm filling in my name. And so it doesn't come off. That's why I'm just filling it in with my glass paint. And it'll go up for sale. And do I have sponsors all lined up? I have a couple, it looks like. Right now, the other one is up in the air, and it's a good chance. With what? Oh, I'm not telling. So you're going to have to wait and find out. But even with YouTube, it's hard to break into the business. But while you're waiting around, just get a job and put money in your pocket, because you don't want to end up homeless. Because guess what? That's what Scientology also wants. If they don't get their own way and the members leave, they want them to be homeless. And which is such a despicable thing to do. And of course, if you're in California, John Bon Jovi has his soul kitchen. Now, I don't have that information for you, but I'll find out later on today and bring it to you tomorrow. And I don't know why I keep forgetting, but as soon as I get off, I'll get to that. So get to Soul Kitchen. And his wife, Dorothea, contributed to that by having a garden, by growing the food. So maybe you'll get a free meal off of them. So just go to the Soul Kitchen ran by the Bon Jovis and see what you can get. Because if you buy a book, or if you're not homeless, a former Scientologist who's not homeless, you can get a cookbook, and the proceeds will go to the Soul Kitchen. So go to them and find out, because I don't think John, his wife, or his kids are going to turn you away. Absolutely not. It doesn't look that way. So go to the Soul Kitchen and see what you can get out of it. It doesn't always hurt. Just let me get the information for tomorrow. Or if you're in a library computer or at work, go right to the library. Well, of course not. You have to be in the library to get my information off the internet. And yeah, just go right to the Soul Kitchen, if you know where it is, and tell them your situation. If John's there, I mean, of course, John's not going to always be there since he always has his schedule, but maybe Dorothea would be there. You can explain it to her on what your situation is, because they are good people. They're not going to turn evil on you like Scientology does. And they don't appear to be kind. They look like they're kind. I don't know them personally, but they look like respectable people. So just go right to them and tell them your situation. And maybe they'll get the justice you need. Because guess what? They can't actually keep you there forever if you don't want to be there. Yeah, I just don't want my letters to come off, so I'm painting over it. So just go to the Soul Kitchen and see what will go on for you and what they can do for you. Now, the entertainment industry is not the easiest industry to get in. And once you get in, it's easy to run into the wrong person. So, whether it's the fans or the people in the industry, because guess what? Sometimes the business and all that money would corrupt a person. So, that's just the way it goes. Why? I don't know. Of course, the normal people would think, you know, why? Why do people have to end up that way? It is awful. Okay. And let's see. And if you are a former Scientologist and Scientology destroyed your dog, go to PETA. They'll do whatever it takes to help you get justice for your pets as well. Now, they are working very hard for animals, especially your household pets. Of course, I'm also an animals rights activist. Originally, that's what my platform was. And then all of a sudden, it just went right into not only animals' rights, but human rights and mental health care. So it just went up on me without any warning or any plans. And it just happened. And boy, the things that happen in this world and how Scientology ended up getting its tax exempt status when the organization started years ago, when a couple of years later, and they got their tax exempt status. Okay, L. Ron Hubbard would get this tax exempt status and go to London and then purchase a house in St. Hill. And then he just spread that all around the world. His hate went around the world. And the comments he gives about people in other religions and the LGBTQ community is just awful. And I mean, and then you think, how can a human treat other people like that? Well, there are a lot of crazy people in the world. All right. And then I'm going to put the date on the bottom. I don't know when I created it, but I know when I'm going to finish it, and that's today. So let me find my marker, and it's, oh, geez. Okay, I'll fill it out later. Now, I also have canvases that I paint off of. I didn't actually finish all of them, so That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish them. I actually want to get a magazine to actually do my masterpieces. Okay. Now I'll get, oh, yeah, I turned it off. Sometimes you're going to have to turn off your cell phone, but there's an emergency, of course, turn it back on and call the police or the fire department or whatever. So I'm just going to pull this aside and grab this and then put the colors in. I just actually wanted to, oh boy, I just actually wanted to wait till I get the colors that I want, but yeah. There's magenta, pink, and fuchsia, and I just wanted to wait to get it. So, and the purple, but I can use those by mixing the colors. So today I am gonna work on it a little bit with the smaller flowers and the petals. And then as soon as I get the paints that I want, I will actually put it in. But however, I am, I don't know why I keep saying that. I am going to actually send my my eBay stuff online and not do it yet, but I promise I will. Okay. Oh, okay. So now I am going to, jeez, I hope I didn't miss a spot. I'm missing it. Yeah, I did miss an area. So let me get to that. And I'm going to pull this aside without breaking it. So here we go. Jeez. There we are. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to work on the area down here. It looks like I missed that area, so let me get that. Now, when you paint, get a huge container like this one. Of course, this one's breaking and it doesn't look good, so it looks like I have to get another one. So, all right. Okay, now I'm going to work on the bottom half. And of course, please, everybody in Scientology or Scientologists. Now, okay, you're not really getting anything out of Scientology. And they're feeding you things that are not true at all. Now, there is no bridge to total freedom. If there is a bridge to total freedom, why on earth are you being locked in a room? Why on earth are you getting beaten down? No one deserves that. Okay. Here we go. So, and when you're ready to leave, the Aftermath Foundation, their number is, in the United States, it's 1-888-FREE-002. That's 1-888-FREE-002. And in the UK, it is 0800-090-3372. That's 080-090-3372. That's 0800-090-3372. And the SPTV is also standing by waiting for you to exit as well. So you can't get a hold of either one of those two, the other will be there as well. And for the SPTV Foundation, which I actually volunteered for, and still I'm waiting for a call. Now, right now, I can afford an SPTV office, so I'm going to have to use my home. So I am trying to wait for my phone call, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So I have to make the phone call on Monday to who I'll never tell. So okay. There. All right. Now it looks like I'm gonna actually work on, oh, and there's another area right here. So I'm gonna have to paint this one too. Now I'm gonna put one more extra day in taping. Now it looks like things are gonna look up for me right now. And am I gonna get another job? Yes. I'm taking a break between jobs so I can actually rest up, because I'm not planning on retiring. I just want to get out there in the world. So I'm resting up as much as I can before I go back to work. And what kind of job am I going to get? Never going to tell. Because I don't want people coming to my work or coercing me or my coworkers. So that'll be it. And if that happens, the excellent police department, which I'm not that far from, their staff is so much great. So it doesn't matter what is going on, whether they're being safe point, which some of them in there don't know what Scientology is. I had to explain it to one of the police officers. So when you see a police officer out there in the world, ask them if they know what Scientology is and explain what Scientology is and the criminal organization, because they are also being targeted and they want to get them to look the other way. Now, I don't think these guys down the street from me is going to look the other way. Never. Never. Because I know those guys and those guys know me. So, well, some of them anyway, because I was working at an employment where I was working, they were coming in for lunch, and that's how they know me. So there you go. Are some of them retired? You know what? I can't imagine. They probably are. But, and a lot of them, I mean, it looks like one of them did get promoted because he's dressing a lot different now. So those guys are just wonderful at the job. And if Scientology tries to point them by having a charity and they know they're doing something wrong, they're not going to hesitate to arrest them. And it would happen. It's right here. Can't believe I missed some spots. So let's see. Yeah, I was expecting to actually finish that one up today, but didn't because I didn't put the date on it and finish painting in my signature. All right. Now, I hope you liked the story I did about Jacob Guron. I think that's his name. I tried to actually make it into a reaction video, but I did not do a good job doing that. So I'm gonna try and work on that a little bit more. So okay, where did my train of thought go? All right. Now, I am so running out of stories, and it's been 43 minutes. Oh, I almost forgot. I came up with 4 more channels that deal with Scientology. One of them is CC Suraz and Phaeton Bait. That's another channel. And Step Forward Escape, and Doily 315. Now, altogether, it's Julia O'Connell, Mindy Lynn, at Ralph Fork. Let me spell it out. It's spelled RAFALKO. That's RAFALKO. All right. Couldn't say his name. And Doug Edwards and CC Suarez, I think that's her name, spelled Suarez. I think that's how you spell it. And Bait and Bait, Step Forward, Escape, Doily 315. That's added to the list that I'm going down to track down more channels that deal with Scientology, not the obvious ones. Of course, you know, there are bigger channels than, well, me and you, or that deal with this kind of movement. Okay, like Aaron Smith and Levitt, Natalie Webster, Jenna Miscavige, Tori Magoo, Jessica Pamadessa, Chris Without a Hellcat, Confident Chris, Dan Walks LA, Mindy, who's his buddy, his confidant, it looks like, and Laura FM, Alicia, oh, I forgot her last name. I know it's a Hispanic name. Oh, geez. And Serge DeMar. And his husband, Michael, has his own channel as well. I should have added him to the list. But, and of course, you know, Serge DeMar was trafficked as a child. And he's been exploited and sexually assaulted as a child. No child should go through that, whether you're gay or straight. And the LGBTQ community faces challenges every single day because of hate. They're targeted. They are constant targets for people like Scientology and in other religions. I mean, the Christian religion is just not understanding. I mean, eventually I understood and I decided, you know what, I can't do that to them. They're entitled to have respect just like everybody else. So I changed my whole outlook on that. And I'm like, Nisa, you have to behave when you're around them, and I am. I promise all you in the LGBTQ community, you're not going to get any problems from me. But the real problem is with Scientology and regular Christian churches. So, I mean, just appeal to them and see what you can get out of it. I mean, if not, then, well, at least you tried. But yeah, you should be treated with respect. So, now, other religions that are getting discriminated against or practices, it's still, well, I don't see it as much anymore, but it's Native Americans, people in the Wicca community, which is a form of witchcraft, but we don't really see it that way. And Christianity has their own witches. Which one, I don't know. But they see the mystic side of Jesus. Now they're not perfect. They make a mistake, but some of them actually do hate people, like the LGBTQ community and other religions. So is it right? No. Should they change their tactics? Yes. And I mean, they think the Bible was being used, but guess what? It's been torn apart. And years ago, they discarded some of the verses that Jesus put out. And it got taken out and rewritten. Now, it's one thing if you don't understand what it says and translate, that's one thing. But you cannot tear it apart just because you don't like what it says. That's what they're doing. So, and the Ethiopian Orthodox Church has the entire scripture that they tossed away. They picked it up and they're using it. Should I go buy that? It's possible, but I don't need written work to prove that Jesus and God loves me. I know they do, regardless of what's written. So, and I know this is going to be controversial, but, and the other part that was taken out is put in Jubilees. Now, the church is going to turn around and say that whole book is evil, but no, it's really been taken out of the Bible. So, yeah, I'm an artist, and this is the way I look at it. Don't mess with other people's work. It's not good. I mean, I'm particular about it. I would hate if people ruined my work. Okay. Now, they do have their right to free speech, but taking apart Jesus's work is wrong. Now, they're going to say that they didn't do it. Of course, some of them are not going to do that. Obviously, they think that Bible hasn't been touched, but it has. But now, translating the scriptures is one thing, but totally taking out things that you feel that you don't like is wrong. That's ruining another person's work. You're literally ruining Jesus's work. So don't do that. Now, the most thing I love about Jesus is his humanitarian work that he had before giving himself up to be, well, it's sad, crucified and killed just to save our sins. But today, the internet is the modern day Pandora's box. Each and every secret comes out. Nobody has an exceptions. It'll just come out. Now, they might be something on me that I'm not aware that's out there. Or maybe I do, who knows. But yeah, we're not going to be aware of it until it comes out on the internet. So nowadays we have to be extra careful. It's just so ridiculous. go. All right. Let's see, what else is there? Now, lately, I haven't seen any protests lately. So, I mean, I haven't saw it, and it's not coming up on my channel every time I press in Grown Up in Scientology. Now, I always wanted to protest, and I did at one time, but not Scientology. I actually protested for PETA. Now, I will get in touch with them, and I did at one time, and I got a response back. I told them about Scientology, and they said they have protests. But I can't imagine what Scientology would do next. Donate their money, blackmail them to keep their mouth shut. PETA, watch out for that one. And their big thing to do to intimidate their former members is through their animals by either drowning them or poisoning them. Even though I know I mentioned it before, that's their favorite thing to do, to silence their victims. So, and Nora and Laura actually wants them to have animal rights. And I was there. I don't know why they didn't actually notice that I was there. Does it make me feel bad? Well, a little bit. And now everybody's jumping on this advocacy wagon, which is a good thing, because guess what? In this country, we are the taxpayers. Not Scientology. They don't pay any taxes. They don't want to pay any taxes. So they even costing me money, and I can't afford their stupid legal activities, but it doesn't make it right. And the wealthy is probably thinking, this ain't right. I mean, it's not right whether you have money or not. You're not supposed to be costing people money. And of course, that's what Scientology does. They cost taxpayers money, taxpayers dollars. And that's where, they don't care. And that's the sad part. Now, they think they're not doing anything wrong, believe it or not, and they paint themselves as the victim, and they're really not. And they've been doing it for years. I even fell for it for a while. And then one day I just put two and two together, and I'm like, I'm thinking, is there a channel on this? And then there was the first person I saw on YouTube was Aaron. He is the first face that I saw in that movement. And then my heart broke for him and Jenna. My heart's broke for them. I even cried. One day while streaming. I mean, my father was the same age as Aaron when he was working. His father died, and of course, naturally, my grandmother pulled him out of school and put him to work. And she also did that with his younger brother. That poor little soul. He was a little boy, and he had to be taken out of school and then put to work. And then they had an older sister. She just passed on with my father. And their younger brother is now the only one left. So, and yeah, and of course, I hope, yeah, took her, married her off. But the good news is she was married for so many years to that same man. She ended up lucky. But he passed away in, I believe, in 1985, I believe. So he died from cancer. So, and my grandmother died in 93. I think it was 93. But yeah, I mean, they're from a country that does that. They're from the Middle East. Of course, they do that all the time. Doesn't make it right, no, but those are their laws. Sometimes there are laws out there that just shouldn't even be laws. It is just horrible that in this. Oh, darn. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. So it's just, this whole thing is just messed up. Now, you don't expect those things to happen in this country, but it does. I know I mentioned it before. But it's just hard to even grasp this. I can't even. Now, yeah, it's not supposed to be happening in this country like this one. You don't expect it to. Right from when it was signed in as it was actually turned into the bill that slave labor would be against the law. That's why Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation back in, I believe it was 1886 or 1866, somewhere around that line. So that wouldn't happen again. And it did. It happened. And Scientology keeps getting away with it. I even brought it to the public works meeting in Los Angeles by Zoom. But nothing. And I keep using his statement as a quote, but either they're scared or just don't even care. And then afterwards, I got hacked into and I got thrown off. And I want to try and get back into those public works meetings. I'm trying to navigate my way back in. I have ADHD, so I have to navigate big time. So now I know I can do it. It usually takes a while with me, but it will happen. Mark my word. Now, I don't want to go on too long. Let's see here. All righty. Now, when you trace your marks on the glass, the marker won't come off. Even though it's a permanent marker, I understand. But with certain material, it will come off. So you really have to make sure it stays. I choose to paint with it. So okay. Now, am I facing the same thing when it comes to Scientology? A little bit, but the most important part is I'm just happy that they're not outside my door. That's what's keeping me from protesting, because I don't want them following me home. That's the thing. It's not good for me. It's not good for my mental illness, because it'll just make me blow up altogether. Even though they don't want the heat, they're going to still go after me. So unless I'm in like a huge group, there's no way I'm going to protest Scientology for now, because I am feeling some sort of peace. Because I know that they're not outside my door. I'm good with that. All right. Now, geez, I am running out of stories big time. So I'm thinking that I'm thinking maybe I should cut off for today, because, oh, geez. Okay. And then come back another day when I have another story, and yeah, piece of, yeah, gossip. But yeah, everybody gossips, whether you see good things about a person or bad things about a person, everybody does it. Now, I don't care who you are, whether you're a minister or not. No. Everybody gets the best of it. I mean, they'll get the best out of you. But yeah, I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. Everybody does it. Whether you say good things about a person or bad things about a person. Gossip is gossip. So I'm sorry, but that's something everybody does. Should they? No. If they say wrong things about them, no. But at the same time, whatever you don't know can't kill you. But if you know it, just don't pay attention to them. Those people just don't understand you or whatever it is you're doing. But however, don't do what Scientology does and just hurt them and coerce them and make their life a living HE double hockey sticks. No. So I'm trying to tone down the language. So, and that's another thing. Every time they do something wrong, nothing's being done. They think they're innocent anything anyway. But if somebody else does it wrong, oh, they go up and no, they're hypocrites. They do one thing. I mean, they say one thing and then do another. It's horrible. They're a bunch of hypocrites. They don't know how to practice what they preach, and they don't. Okay. Now, do we all want to be understood? Yes, we do. Everybody wants to be understood. That's just the way it works. I mean, people have feelings, whether you have a career, whether you have a ministry, or whether you're a mom or dad, sister or aunt. Everybody's entitled to say what they feel. Okay. Well, boy. All right. Now I am running out of things to say. Well, I didn't really get to coloring anything today. So hopefully I will get to it eventually. Oh no, it's starting to rain. Wow. Okay. Okay, there it is. And I hope I didn't miss anything here. All right. It's been an hour and 14 minutes. And now I think it's time to cut out. Yeah. Right now, all my things is covered with all my work, my canvases, my vases, everything. Yeah, it's all right. Okay, now, okay, me, I'm still working on buying me a coffee. I can't figure that thing out. But if you want to make a donation to my channel, for now, do it from my PayPal. And if you want to get some mental health care, I also got that at the bottom. Go to one of the links if you know you have a mental health problem, or you're or you just got out of the cult, or especially Scientology. Go to the link down below. The one I highly recommend is NAMI. They are excellent, or the National Center for Mental Health. They're also there. And you want to donate to my channel to keep my channel going? You can donate to my PayPal for now. I'm still trying to work on buying me a coffee. And if you can't afford to make any donations, don't. Because if you can't afford it, don't donate it. Don't donate. So Just watch my show and you'll be fine. So hit the like, press subscribe, and I'm going to see you tomorrow in my kitchen. Okay, so see you tomorrow.